Welcome to another episode from the battle to the glory. Yes, we are here. Listen, we got something special for you guys again today. It's another week, another day. God has blessed us. Ooh, man, I'm filled with some energy. Got some good week, something good coming up for the weekend. Yeah, birthday weekend. Shout out. Getting crowned king moving in the building. Hey, strong in the Lord. Strong in the Lord. Yeah, strong in the Lord. Strong in the Lord.
Is that y'all chant?
Yes, strong in the Lord.
Okay.
Come on, y'all.
Right.
Strong in the Lord, baby. That's what we talking about. It's spiritual warfare we in. You know what that means? Spiritual warfare. Take your glasses on. Put them on right now. Spiritual warfare.
So
Let's
good. I'm in
go,
management.
man. Woo! Let's go, man. What you talking about? How y'all weekends been? How was your day? Talk to me. Lady T, tell me what's going on. You're on mute. You're on mute. Oh, Lord Jesus.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. All right, Lady T,
And
what's up?
I'm not as hyped as you are, but I'm good. I'm good. Everything is great. Life is good. I got joy in my heart. I'm good. How you doing, Rodney?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. Next week I start the new job. So I'm excited for that. The first week I'm supposed to be working from home, so I should be able to make it next week. And then after that, we'll see. Because my jobs do go at night as well. So, but y'all know as much as I can be on here, I will be. And I gotta be here to help Lady T
Mm-hmm.
move Chef Dennis to his next points of his relationship with God, because he involved in these fraternities and stuff where he got chants and
Hey,
colors
okay, it's
and
positivity,
and,
okay?
and
No negativity,
crownings.
okay?
No,
No,
that's not bro.
so don't
It's
don't
no
mention
hey,
fraternities
it's
because
no
there is no
judgment.
fraternities over here.
It's
There's
not a
no. Hey,
fraternity. It's
there
a
you
it's
go.
a it's a paternity, right, or something
No,
like that. Or
it's called Kingdom. Kingdom. Can you say this with me?
kingdom
Kingdom
building.
building. There you go. That's
There
what
you
it's
go.
about. It's about kingdom.
Absolutely.
It's about discipleship. It's about
Where you building your kingdom, on heaven or on the earth though?
now. What I'm doing is I'm being a
Good
disciple,
question.
so I can disciples others. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Yeah. Disciple. I like that word. Okay. All right. Cool
We,
beans, man. I'm
we,
messing with you. I love you, even if you do get turned to the other side or whatever. You'll
what's
still,
the turn the other
I'll
side?
pray for you. I don't know,
Keep
whatever,
praying for me, of course. Keep praying for greatness for myself. Yes, I appreciate that.
Nah,
All
that's all
prayer.
good. I'm proud. If you like it, I love it.
All right, now.
That's what my mother used to say. But
Okay.
let me go back to my week. What was I saying? All right, yeah, I start
No,
my
you don't get
job
it. You
next
don't get
week.
another week now.
Nah, I spent this shooting shots at you. I apologize. You know what? I should have took advantage of my time. So yeah, I start next week just cleaning up the house, just praying and I got some great things coming up. I get to hang out with Chef Dennis this weekend. That's going to be great, even though, what he doing, and we'll check that out. I get to see Lady T. So
Yep.
I'm excited about that. But I got a nephew who's getting married, so I'm excited. He invited me to be a groomsman, so I
Oh,
get to act a fool with him. I'm excited about that. That's my main man right there. I'm happy that he's getting hitched to a beautiful woman who hasn't realized who he is yet. But we're gonna keep
Yeah,
it going.
you know what? We gonna have to help you out, brother. Now, like you always tell me, listen,
What?
it's always good to be positive. Okay, speak life into his life. That's what you got to do. Don't say what he not gonna be. Say he's gonna be a great man.
I'm
He's gonna be
speaking
a great
wisdom to
husband.
her. I ain't
Nah,
speaking life.
listen, hey, listen. You are for out of all the people in the world, you should know
Man,
marriage
they
is
know I'm
difficult.
joking, bro.
Come on, but you got to.
I know. All right, Chef. Yes, sir. I
he's
apologize.
always on jokes. You got to allow Rodney to be who he is and laugh with him, okay? Because I laugh. Just you
Yeah,
laugh too.
I know you laugh. I know you laugh. I know.
Okay. You gotta laugh too.
Yeah,
I need you to
yeah.
laugh.
I laugh.
Speaking of the topic, Chef likes to be in control. He don't trust that people going to do the right thing.
But what is it? Is it? Is it? What is it?
Is it trust or is it control?
What is it?
That is a good question. What is it? I was confused too.
Are you really? Okay, so you asking me a question. Are you really trusting God? Or is it God controlling you?
I mean,
are you truly trusting God? But is God really controlling you?
That's very different than what you got.
I don't think God controls you at all.
Yeah, that's very different.
So, but let's unpack this. There are some people who feel like God controls them versus trusting them. And so I'm pretty sure you ever heard that before. Some people think that we don't have true free will.
Hey, Dr. T.
Dr. T, much love. So some
people feel like, I've heard some people say that no matter what, they'll be like, oh, it don't matter what I do, God's in control. That type of idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But is it trust or is it control?
Well, all right. Who wants to go first?
Lady T, let's go.
Rodney seemed like he had something he wanted to say.
Oh, look, you just want to slide under. You want to slide under the rug
now.
I got it. Don't worry about it. All right. So, yeah, I've had people say that to me. What I say to them is this: one, God does know. He does know what we're going through, but it's kind of like I reference it to football. Just because you know the score don't mean don't mean that the players don't have a way to play the game. So I look at it as football, the end of score is going to be 21-28, but how you get there is up to you. You know what I'm saying? Either way, that's where the score is going to be. But how you get there is up to you. So you can decide to, fumble, do whatever you want to do, or you can follow the coach's instructions and get to where you're trying to get to. So that to me was like the simplest way of explaining it to someone when they say to me that God is in control. I don't have to do it. Don't matter what I do. God is in control. Yeah. At the end, you're going to get there to wherever God at the end is going to be where you're going to be. But how you get there matters on, what's going to happen. So, you can get there by God, not being with you and punishing you or whatever the case may be, or you can get there with him coaching you how to get there and usually get there a lot faster. Eventually you're going to get there. So, I mean, I guess I don't know if that's confusing to y'all, but that is the best way that I have tried to explain that to people, because God does not control you. He does not force you. The greatest thing that God wants is your love willingly. He already has angels that all they do is praise him. He always had people that didn't have a choice. See, the angels are created and given no choice. And that's where God wanted. He created us to give us choice, because there's no greater love than when somebody chooses to love you. When they love you because of who you are, when they love you because of, the great things that, that he's done for you, when your love is true love. God already has angels that all they do is say holy all day. You know what I'm saying? That's in the Bible, that he's surrounded by these angels that praise him all day long, but that isn't different praise and a different love than when somebody is created to love you and then when somebody chooses to love you. So that's the best analogy I got for control. Now, to get into the topic, I'll get into that later. I just wanted to say my analogy about control and say that when people say that. So.
Chef?
You want me to go?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So definitely it's about the trust. It's not a control thing. Some people do not believe in free will. Free will is your choice. You can choose to serve God or you can choose not to serve God. But God has put a roadmap for us to understand why it will be beneficial for us to serve God. And that's the word of God. And so if you do not study, if you do not acknowledge the word of God, how can you trust and believe in a God you don't understand? And so there is no control. God does not control anyone. You cannot even believe in a God that's going to control you or force you, because then that means he's not giving you free will. So he allows you to choose whether you're going to serve him or not serve him. And there is a distinction in serving him. There's a great reward in serving him versus not serving him, because in serving him, it teaches you how to be humble, meekness, be clean-minded, level-headed, humble, meek. I say meek because it takes time to get to that point and understand what that means. And so without serving him, guess what? You'll react on your emotions sometimes. You won't even think. But when you have a humble state, you can really think clearly, even in the midst of you getting upset, even though you're mad. I mean, you're filled with anger. And because you're filled with anger, you're still thinking about God. They said, look, how do I respond to this? But see, that's where the trust come in, because you want to ask him a question. How do I respond when I'm upset? How do I respond when I'm furious? I really want to punch this person in the face. I want to slap them. And so having that understanding and what it is to trust God, God will give you a way in of an escape versus controlling you, telling you better do this. He's not a God that looks down on you, because guess what? He's a God of grace and mercy. He's a God of forgiveness. So if he is a God of forgiveness, sometimes he understands how you feel, your reactions. So that's not a controlling God that we have and that we serve. So you got to trust in him that he'll lead you in the right direction, lead you in the right response. We always talk about mental health. That's the biggest thing that's going on now. How do we navigate in a healthy mental health? Trust in God, but not just praying, but just allowing God to lead you in the right places, the right resources, so that you may have an issue, that God will lead you to the right person to show you how to operate in that space. So it's trust, it's not control.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say trust and control are both. I'll say it's both. You have to trust, just like you said, Chef, trust in the Lord with all your heart, mind, soul, strength. Control yourself. Learn to control your behaviors, learn to control your bad habits. There is a control that we have to do to be able to trust in the Lord, to not go back to our old ways, to doing the things that's not beneficial to us. So you have to learn how to control your own way of being, living in this world, the bad habits, things that are not good for you. Pay attention to yourself, control yourself. Trust in the Lord. Yes, you need that, but both of them, it's a together thing. But I'm not disagreeing with what you both are saying. But I do see something what you said earlier about, God. There's a word, I was trying to figure it out. Omnipresent, omnipotent. There's something else that he knows what's going to happen before it actually happens.
Mhm.
And
Predestined.
I don't
Predestined.
know. Okay, I'll take that. I'm gonna look it up. But
I know what
Predestined
I know what you're talking about, though.
okay,
predestined is something that God knows already. He has already planned your life for you already. So you have to walk into that destiny that he has for you. It's like destiny. It's already made for you. Whatever you want, whatever God has for you, Lady T, is already written for you. It's up for you to understand your purpose and walk into your purpose.
Cut it
So
off.
what you're basically saying, and what we know of God, God knows every choice a human being will make. God knows exactly what we will do. And a lot of people argue with that to say if it's right or wrong, but that is what we say God is. So my point is, if God knows everything, do we really have control? We don't.
Hold on. I want to tag. You said I just want to tag on to that.
I just want to say why I was saying that. Okay. We do not truly have control, because if you think about it, we don't know what's going to happen the next second. We are not in control of our environment, who comes into our life, who leaves our life, how life works. We have no control over that. We can only control ourselves. The only thing you can do is control yourself. There's no other control. You can't control another person. You can't control another situation. You might plan for it to be a certain way, outcome to be a certain way, whatever it is. But the one God of all knows exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to interfere or interrupt your plans. And that's my point. So do we truly have control? Omnipotence. I can't even say it. But thank you, Dr.
Omnipotent.
No, that ain't it.
I'm gonna look it up.
Lady T is a lot closer.
Yeah. I tried. No,
it's not tent. There's no T in there. Omnipotent. There's no T.
It is a T in it, bro.
It's a C. Omnificent. Look, bro, I'm not going to argue with you. But go ahead. No problem.
Dr. T. Okay. But my point is,
it's a C, not a T, bro.
At the end. But
it's a T at the end.
I'm talking about the part that you're pronouncing. You're saying tent. T.
Omnipotent. Look, omnipotent. That's what it is.
You be butcher words.
That word is sent.
No,
word is sent.
This is what it is right there.
Oh, so she's actually corrected this stuff.
This is what it is. Now apologize, Rodney. Apologize.
Put the other word up, bro.
No, there it is right there.
That is omnipotent. Yes, that is omnipotent.
That's the word she was.
Dr. T, that's the power thing. What I'm saying is all knowing. Omnipotent is a power, universal power, authority, influence. That's God, right? But what I'm asking is, God will know what will happen to each and every one of us. God knows our story, from the beginning to the end. That's what I'm referring to. Omnipotent is a power, authority thing, but I'm looking at it as he has knowing. Okay. But what I'm saying is we need to look at it as, do we trust God or do we trust ourselves? Do we feel like we can control ourselves, or will we want the world and others to control us? These are the questions we should really ask. Okay, so it's the first word. You found it, Rodney?
Can I raise my hand now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so omnipotent means you know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Omnipotent means you are all powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they don't mean the same thing.
Right.
So
say the word
omnipotent.
Omnipotent. Yes.
With the C, omnipotent is all knowing, and omnipotent is all powerful.
Now, my point, what I was saying about that is God. He knows exactly what's going to happen from the beginning to the end. So, because if we are able to put that in our minds to say, God knows everything, now I need to trust in God that he has the best interest for my life. And then I will control myself in accordance. So I am with union with God and I am never separated. That's what we need to think like, because it takes a trust in God who knows all things, who loves you, who always wants to be with you. He wants to be in communion with you. He wants to take care of his children. That's who God is. But if you trust that God, then you will be able to control yourself to be able to see that there's a greater plan and purpose for your life, and it includes loving other people. That's what I see it as.
All right. Okay. So Lady T, So what I'm saying to you is this: so in other words, you're saying God is in control. So in other words, you're saying we don't choose our destiny that's made for us.
We have free will, but that is the question of all the great scholars. Because we have free will and God is omniscient, I can't say it. I tried. Point is, he's all knowing. Because he's all knowing, how can we truly have free will? Because he knows exactly what's going to happen. But we think we're doing what we want, and we're like, oh, I got free will, so God, he's going to be surprised when I do this.
But that's not what he offers us, though.
It's not about offering.
When I say offer, he says that you can choose what you may choose.
But he knows what we're going to choose.
But so a choice is not forced. You make a decision. Forced.
We still can do it. But it does not. But the point is, because God knows exactly what we're going to do, we have to learn how to trust in God that he has our best interest and that he will take care of us and that he will guide us into whatever it is. But we don't. That's my point. We're separated. God wants us to have a reunion with him and to know who he is so that we can have the communion and be protected by him and be directed by him. But if we don't trust in him, because he knows all, if you have an understanding that God knows all, what is it, Chef? What is it that you have a problem with me saying all this?
Do you trust your mother and father?
I don't trust a man.
Wow.
You trust
that's rude.
Listen, do you trust your mother and father? It's a simple yes or no. There is no.
You trust your mother.
Okay.
No, both.
You made that very general. Yeah. So give me what it is that you want me to.
Ronnie, I'll go to Ronnie. Ronnie, do you trust your mother and father?
Both of my mother and father's dead, but when they were alive, yes, I trusted them.
Now, the reason why I asked that is because it's a natural reaction to trust our mother and father, and they did nothing to show us. Right? Look, they didn't.
Can I break it down better than that? Because I got something to say, Lady T, and that is that God knows our decisions because God knows our heart. So when we have these decisions to be made, God looks at our heart and knows what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? That is where we have the difference. Like my heart now is different than my heart was 5 years ago, or my heart for God. When you get in that relationship and you build, your heart starts to change. So you make different decisions. You make the decisions, and just because God knows our heart, he knows what we're going to make as that decision. If your heart is this, or like, you know, for instance, I think I said it, but you know, I've been praying this whole time. Y'all see me change this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But I had in my heart one person. There was one person I will never forget. There's one person that if I see him in the streets, that is on sight. You know what I'm saying? That is one person. Yeah, it was all. But anyway,
but you passed that, right?
Am I allowed to finish?
I don't know. I'm confused. I'm serious. I'm confused.
Well, if you wait to the end, then you'll get the ending.
I'm lost.
And you know what? And God worked that, and God did confront me on that. You know what I'm saying? It is because he knows my heart. He knows that I'm sitting here talking to all these people, but I still got this one person. And God gave me a choice. He gave me a choice where I had to either forgive this one person, or this was going to keep on happening to me until I did. And I said, you know what? I want to stop from this happening to me. So, you know, I'll forgive this one. I want to forgive this one person. I'm really am going to forgive him. And I know he knows my heart, but God also knows whether I really forgave him or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that is all about, your choices are going to be on your heart. And if God knows your heart, then he knows your choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't hide. You can hide anything from the world. But if somebody knows your heart, then they know what you're going to do. It's that simple. In just my opinion. If you know that, like, for instance, Lady T, you know, and I'm just going to say me, because I don't know how well you know Chef Dennis, because he be switching. But you know, if you know me for a long time,
daggers at me, dog.
you know me for a long time, and you know my heart is with my wife, right? My heart is with my wife. Like, this man, I've known him for a while. I know this dude loves his wife. If somebody came to you and be like, yeah, I saw Rodney cheating with some hood rat down the street, you're going to be like, nah, not him. Like, it's a lot of people that might be with their hood rat, but it's not him. You know what I'm saying? Chef Dennis, who has a weak heart for ladies, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
But Rodney, nah, that ain't going to happen because you know my heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by how God knows our heart. That's how I feel. God knows our heart, so therefore he knows what we're going to do. And you can't, there's certain things, but he also knows what temptations, like for instance, he knew that I forgave a lot of people, but if I saw this man, it's on sight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my heart. My heart is, if I see this dude, is on sight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing people that look like him saying, I wish he was. You know, but but God changes that in your heart, and God will give you the opportunity to change that in your heart. Now, what I also believe is that just because you did something at one point in time doesn't mean that blessing still doesn't come to you. I believe that God will accelerate blessings, or he'll hold them back. Of course, he already knows he's going to do that because he knows your heart at the time when his blessing came. But now that I've done that, God is God has told me that he's going to accelerate blessings for me because I have now given it all up. Before, I didn't give it all up. I was sitting on here talking to y'all about forgiveness and still had this dude in my heart. So now I've given it up. Now God has come to me and said, now I will accelerate your blessings. You know what I'm saying? So now did he already know that was going to happen? Yeah, because he knew my heart wasn't ready at the time where he came to me the first time. My heart wasn't ready. He knew I was going to say, nah, I'm still going to hold it out for this brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we talking. I'm like, nah, I got you, God. You know what? I forgive everything else. But him? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, even if I catch him at a funeral, I'm whipping his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was, but God knew my heart. So therefore, that's what I mean by God. That's how I feel, that God knows your heart. So therefore he does know what you're going to do.
He confirmed because it's right. He knows his heart. God knows everyone's heart, and that is how he knows everything.
Rodney.
Yes, sir.
So tell the listeners, why do you trust God?
Why do I trust God? One, because I have a relationship with God. Two, because God has done things for me that no man could do. Three, that, but to go into it first, first, because of my relationship with God, I'm now, I'm moving in a place where God talks to me very often and talks to me about the things that I ask. I can ask a question and I get, I've grown that I now get answers. Like my growth with God, but in the beginning, it was just simple that, first of all, living for God gives you a peace that nothing else can give you. Nothing can give you the same peace that you have living for God. Since I started making, and I mean, let's be honest, making the right choices feels better than making the wrong choices. I mean, we've all made wrong choices, and in my opinion, gaining my relationship with God and making the right choices has given me a peace that I've never had before. And it's also just that, having that relationship with him there's nothing greater. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing greater than that relationship with God. Like, even I have my relationship with my wife, and it helps with everything. If you have that strong bond with God, then nothing, you're not afraid of anything. You're not, I pay my bills. Do I care about them? Nah, I'm not staying up at night anymore because of my bills. I'm not staying up at night because somebody wronged me or because I can't find $1 that I've been looking for all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that. He just gives you a peace to let you know that it's okay. Like, just whatever it is that's bothering you, give it to him. Talk to him and and my life has been great. You know what I'm saying? My daughter is doing great. My son's doing great. But even when things do go wrong, it gives me a faith that is contagious. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my best friend every day, and he's going through something right now. And what you laughing for, man? What's so funny?
No, just go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, well,
contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's contagious. I mean, it is, bro. But I mean, it's difficult sometimes because the difficulty part is the trust. Because God asks you to do things that typically, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to forgive that guy. I'm still like Jonah. I I ain't gonna say that out loud because I have forgiven him. But to be honest with you, when I do see him on site, I gotta break all those years of saying when I see him on site, because now I got a feeling I'm gonna see him on site. And when I do, I gotta forgive him. I have already forgiven him, but I already know I'm past it now. I'm just grateful for what God did for me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, what was the question? Did I answer?
No, you didn't. Why you trust God? Lady T, what about you? Why do you trust God?
Okay, I really believe that a lot of what we learn in our lives has to do with our environment and how we grew up, right? I believe that for everybody. Everybody does not experience God the same. Mr. Clark put in everyone sees God and perceives him differently is exactly how I feel. So I grew up in a religious house on both sides of my parents. And I grew up knowing God and learning God and reading the Bible and experiencing it for myself. But there are people that do not know anything about spirituality, religion, God, they grow up totally different. So I feel like because I came in the world this way, that is the reason why. But I also know as I've grown up, I know where my journey has been, and being separated from God is not a choice that I want to make, to be ever without God. I feel like I am protected. I am fearless. I am a person that can do all things with Christ that is strengthening me. There is a knowing, an experiential knowing because of what I've, learned through the years without being with God. So the separation part is something I choose not to do. I don't want to be separated from God. But because I know I have a understanding that I grew into from a young age. I grew into it from a young age. So I have to give that respect to say, this is where my life has brought me. And so I want to share the little bit of knowledge that I do have in a loving manner. So, that's how God would want me to be. That's what I think it is mostly. Like, especially preachers' kids. Preachers' kids grow up a certain way. They get a bad rap, probably for a good reason. But the point is, preachers' kids have a real burden on them at a young age. And they can take that burden and, make bad decisions and say, God, I don't understand why you do what you do. That was me. That was me all through the years. But then I got past all that and I was like, but you've been so good. You took care of me from, day one. And that's the trust that I have for God, because I look back over my life and everything that has happened, it's because of God. And I put trust to say, I have no idea where I'm going to be going, but I trust you that you're going to take me to the next step.
I'm sorry, my wife just chimed in because I was gonna vouch for people. I was gonna vouch for preachers' kids. They do make bad decisions, though. You know what I'm saying? PKs, they're easy targets for brothers like me. You know what I'm saying? Say, nah, let me stop. But yeah, but I mean, it does, and it go just real quick into people, because I grew up in the church, even though I was not a PK, but I had a lot of my knowledge, before, even my relationship with my wife. Like the other day, we were sitting there, I was playing through Bible, so I was playing some kind of like Bible quiz game. And my wife could not believe how much knowledge I had. And I was like, yeah, I was on the Bible. I was like, I'm telling her stuff she never had a clue. That I was on the Bible trivia team back in the day. She's like, what? And I was like, for real, like, yeah. And I was the fastest dude in the church with finding any verse in the Bible. Like I even went against my pastor and smoked them. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was when I was young, but I still have a lot of that knowledge still in me. God, and now that I'm rereading the Bible now as an adult, because I did read it when I was young, but it's the same thing to me. It's the same thing with that as if you're a PK growing up in the church, because you're looking at it from a child's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like I did all this trivia and I read and I did it, but I didn't have the relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? I had the relationship with my parents who brought me there, but I didn't really have a relationship with God until I became an adult. And once you have a relationship with God and then you read the Bible, it's different. Once you have that relationship with God and you go to church, it's different. Once you have that relationship with God and you go and you do, you do all these things, like Chef Dennis says, you then, when you have that relationship with God, you then want to become a disciple. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to church because your parents forced you to go to church. Now you're going to church because you want to go to church. You know what I'm saying? So it to me, and I think that is what's like the difference. As a PK, you're being forced. It's almost like if you had to go to your dad's job every day. You know what I'm saying? Let's say he worked as a fireman. You think firemen were great or whatever the case may be, and the firemen are great. So that was a terrible analogy. But let me think of like a bread maker. You would think that was the coolest job in the world, but that's because that's all you saw. You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in as a child. But the thing about it is when you become an adult and you start looking at these things, if you don't have the relationship with God, then you're not going to get the spiritual nutrients. To me, that's what I call it. I call it the spiritual nutrients that you get now reading the Bible, the spiritual nutrients that you get going to church. So.
Well, I was going to say too, the reason why I trust God is because my heart posture has changed. My understanding of why people do the things that they do is how God has changed my heart, how I'm not quick to anger. I'm quick to just ask God what to do. I trust him not because of a tragedy. I trust him because the joy that I have for him once I begin to know who he is and what he did for me. And so it came with a great reward, because guess what? I don't want for anything. Sometimes I can't move because I ask God if it's necessary for me to move. Is it in his will for me to travel? When I can do what I want, but sometimes I have to confide with him and ask him, is it in his will for me to go? And my relationship with him, it teaches me how to respond when I'm upset. That's why I trust him. I trust him to the point where he teaches me how to love my family, even when they don't love me back. And doesn't mean my immediate family. It's a thing that understanding what it is that, when you're called to do something, sometimes people are not going to agree. They're going to disagree. They're going to rub you the wrong way. It's supposed to sharpen you. And so that's what expected. And so that's why I trust him. I trust him because he teaches me how to love people when they don't even love themselves. I trust him to know that he's going to guide me. He's going to lead me to the places that I need to go, not the things that I have or I desire. Is what he has for my life. And so that's why I trust him. I trust him enough to understand that even when I don't want to do something, he's saying, I need you to do this, not for him but to glorify him, to show the world that guess what? I serve a God that's omnipotent. I serve a God that's magnificent. I serve a God that's filled with joy, that has grace and mercy, even when I don't do the things that he wants to. That's why I trust him. I trust him enough to know that he's going to teach me how to be the best husband that I need to be. I trust him enough to understand why I have friends that love me, why I had to let friends go because they show me love, but that's not what God wants for me. And so I trust him to put me in the places where I need to be, to speak to people, to uplift them, to bring them out of the darkness, to bring them to the marvelous light. I trust him that he's going to guide me. And so that's why I trust him. I wouldn't have said because I really trust him, because I want to show y'all something. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Today was something different. So I didn't even say this to you guys earlier, but this is where I trust God too. I was in a pizzeria today. I was having lunch. I got me some pizza. And there was a young man that came in and got his pizza. I ain't trying to be racist or nothing like that, but it broke my heart. I'm talking about, I wanted to say something bad. I was going to say, yo, shut up. But I'm going to tell you, God, he silenced me. I'm so serious, y'all. Listen, so the guy came into the store and he got real belligerent to the young man. He told him, get the F out the way. I'm hungry. You in my way. Make your mind up. Oh, my spirit was like so mad. I was like, yo, shut up. But I didn't. I began to tear up because I know that spirit that he was carrying was devilish, was like demonic, because this young man was peaceful, at peace. But I understood it. And that's why I see, because I used to jump into stuff like that. Like, who you talking to? And I probably haul off and hit the man, because that's how I used to be. And so you want to know why I trust him? Because guess what? The renewal of my mind, I didn't respond the way I used to respond. I didn't do the things that I didn't respond in the place where I should have, but I did. And I was humbled, because I'm telling you, I really, the way I used to be, I probably would have picked up chair and busted them in the head and walked out the store. They wouldn't have said nothing to me, but that comes with maturity. That comes with understanding the relationship. Not only the relationship, but there are other people watching. And so I had to be humbled. That's the flesh. I didn't like it. It was wrong. That young man didn't do anything. He came in peace. But this man, and I'm going to say it like this, he was white. The guy was black.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No, I
don't know if he would have got away with me.
I had to say that because guess what? This is the times that we live in.
Hold on. So the white man was telling the young man to hurry up?
Bruh, he ain't say hurry up. He said, hurry F up. You understand me? But he was real nasty. This young man was not doing anything wrong, but he was taking a long time. But he was explaining to the guy. This guy came in. I'm talking about real nasty, man. I'm sitting there having my lunch. He just come in like that. But guess what? He knew. Listen, and I'm not saying I'm better. I'm not saying there's something about it was something about me. He was nice to me. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm serious. But I was hurt. My heart was hurt because the way he spoke to that young man. Like, come on. And then you talk about how God works on your heart. Man, I'm telling you, that was a moment for me. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm serious. That was a moment, because I wasn't always this way. I'll bust you in the head quick and then walk on. Some of my family members know that, but that's the love that I have for God. I want to be the better version of myself. I want to be the renewed mind, renewed man. I do, constantly. He's always working on me. And I want that. Listen, and I'm gonna let you go, Rodney, too. The one thing I want to always say is that, I tell people when I do the podcast, it's to edify God, which he don't need my edification. He don't need me to, but what happens is it shows other people how to glorify God in a special way. Because guess what? You didn't have to wake up this morning. It was his grace and mercy that woke you up. Don't think you woke up on your own. That's not the case, because everybody in this lifetime has done something that's displeasing to God that requires a penalty. But God says, no, I'm going to show you grace and mercy. I'm going to love on you even when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And so you didn't wake up on your own. You woke up because God showed you grace and mercy. That's why you woke up. Don't think your alarm clock woke you up, because some people alarm clock go off and they don't hear it, and then they wake up an hour later. So don't think that you woke up on your own. God woke you up. Go ahead, Rodney. Late team.
Oh, I don't got nothing to say to that. I would have definitely said something, bro. God ain't worked on me on that level. I'm telling you, I would have said something. I don't play it, but I come from management background in restaurants and things like that. I don't play them games. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely don't play if it was a Caucasian man, even though I'm 30% Caucasian, and I have Caucasian friends. But there's no way I would have, especially if you was talking to a young man too, the way you made it seem like that would have, yeah, I feel you. But if God would have told me no, I guess I would have had to listen as well, you know. But yeah, that is, I'm saddened that that was an experience that you had to, go through. I don't know, bro.
Well, it's funny. I think somebody put in the comments about trusting God when things aren't going well, and that's a big thing, because when you are in a situation where life is uncertain, you are misused and abused, you are in pain and trauma. There is a feeling that takes over you that it could be very difficult to find God, to find the hope, to find the love in the situation, to find the forgiving in the situation. So trust, we are talking about trust as if it's so easy, but we need to think about it when it's not. That is the real testament of your faith. That is, what will you do when it's so bad down and out that you don't know what to do? We can say we trust God, but when you lose your house, you lose your job, you lose a child, you lose a parent, you lose, and you feel like you lost it and it's gone and your life is over. Like, there are things, you lose a limb. People lose limbs. Change of life can happen in an instant, but will you trust God? There's that's a change of your life that you have to consider how you're going to be, because we're talking as if it's so easy, but when the bad times do happen, how do you act? And do you talk about that? Are you boastful about how you were? Were you depressed? Were you saddened? Were you still joyful and you were talking to people and you were around everybody? Like, a lot of people just kind of disregard the bad times, and make it seem like
death is hard for me, Lady T. Let me tell you, boy.
And listen, I was led to say this. I'm gonna tell this, y'all. Nah, because I'm not letting the enemy defeat me. Listen, I got a confession.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
You know what?
Let's strap in real quick. Hold on.
Listen. I'm trying to get myself together. The one thing I want to do is I want to do what God has called me to do, right? And what that is, I have not really pinpoint what it is. I'm looking for this supernatural understanding of what God really want me to do, whether it's being a minister, whether it's being a pastor, whether it's being just a disciple. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm being honest. This is not for people to look at me different or look at me and say, or he's trying now. Because I got this idea of what it's supposed to be. And that's not what it is. I have to be truly led by God, not by what people say, not by what I think. I'm looking at this and I'm saying what I am. But God says, what are you? I'm struggling with that. Because when I go into church, it's something that is holding me back. Or what it is, I really don't. I'm working on that. I'm here encouraging people to come to Christ, but I have to make sure that I am fully strapped in. And I'm not fully strapped in.
And why do you think you're not
fully? Because the game gets me distracted.
The video game.
I spend mad hours in
Oh
playing
yeah,
games.
boy.
Have you decreased that?
I'm have to. I'm
Did
being
you
honest.
though? Have you since, have
I'm
you
I'm
decreased it?
I'm working towards that. I
Okay.
really am. And God has all the knowledge for me here, and I have not dedicated my time like I do in that game. That game is a. I said I'm gonna be honest.
He's
That
being
game
honest. I
is
know
a
what I do.
stronghold on
So
my distraction. So I'm saying that because guess what? That's something I gotta let go.
Okay.
I gotta let go to the point where I'm only spending maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour.
Mhm.
Because I have knowledge. God has provided me with the knowledge. He has provided me with the tools. And only I play one game and one game only. I don't play a bunch of games. I only play football. That's it. I don't play basketball. I only play football. But it is a distraction. And I'm saying this openly because guess what? It's time. It's time to decrease that interest and elevate to the person that God has called me to. And I'm saying this to you guys, but as well as I'm telling people, because guess what? These are the things that we have to do openly, not just hide it, not just keep it to ourselves. We got to talk about it. And so we hear, that's why I said I trust God. I trust that what I'm saying, that it'll reach somebody, understand that they may too have a distraction that's keeping them to focus on God. You know what I'm saying? And that's truly where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Man, please. Like I said, somebody put something in the comment. Yeah, I'm constantly tested. Constantly. You know what I'm saying? When it seems like you're sitting by yourself, but God says, no, I got you. Lady T, you said something earlier. Yes, people lose loved ones. But if they focused on, and that's not, look, I got family that lost close ones. And I can't tell them how to mourn. I can't. That's their feelings. That's their emotions. But I'm saying, if you focus on God, God is your refuge. God is your strength. God is your love in that. And some people can't grab hold to that because they're mourning, and that's their right to do so. But I say, grab hold to God's heart. Grab hold to his unchanging, his unwavering feelings for you, his love for you constantly. I'm gonna leave you with this, Lady T and Rodney, too. Somebody was talking to me at work, and it's like when you put a plug in the socket, there's no charge in that cord yet until you cut that switch on. So when you unplug it, that's the connection to God. So there's no surge that comes from that connection. So when you disconnect from God, there's nothing. When you're not connected with God, all things are supposed to happen. All things are going to happen. But when you got that full connection, that full throttle, listen, God is your strength. There's no connection with God. There's nothing. When you're not connected, there's nothing. You have nothing. God still show you mercy. He still should have grace for you. But there's nothing. You have nothing. Nothing.
Well, I mean, you want a confession for a reason. So, we're gonna say that, you're gonna walk into that direction that you want for your life, Chef. That's all we're gonna say for that. There are things that we have to keep to ourselves sometimes, and it's necessary to have that protection of what God wants for your life sometimes. But if it's good for you to tell and speak, that is good. It's good for the soul because it was meant for you to do. But I see what you're saying. I see everything about your life and how you're growing. You and I are family. So you and I having conversations on here, I see your growth, right? I'm here seeing both of y'all, how y'all are growing individually and together. And I think it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And I enjoy our conversations. What we're doing is having conversations about topics that we are just being authentically ourselves. We're just talking. We're not really, I look at it as, yes, we're doing something, right? But the people that are listening, they are hearing the words that we're saying, and it might work and it might not, click. But ultimately, everybody has their own choice, right? We all have our own choices to either trust what we hear or not hear, if it's inward or outward, and control how we behave about it. Like, I'm bringing it back to the topic. Point is that it's all about us. Everything. So you saying that your confession and how you opened up this way tonight, it's beautiful. You have mentioned that, you wanted to cut back. So you're just saying it over and over and over. But my encouragement to you is be at peace now. Be at peace, because you got to wake up every day and say, Lord, forgive me of my sins as I forgive those who have sinned against me. You got something now, like we all do. You mentioned it, you verbalized it, you told us what it is. I can give you a list of mine. I don't have a problem with it, but that's what we all have to do. We all have something that we need to ask God to forgive us, and that we forgive others. So I look at it as it's a beautiful thing. I do see that you're going to be some type of minister in the church, because you have a desire for it. You really want to become that. And I think that, it's just a matter of time. So, be at ease. This is my little, advice. Be at ease. Enjoy the ride. You're gonna, do just fine.
What do you think?
I don't understand this comment. I'm trying to understand the comment, but I hate it when people do that too. To me, I hate it when people say don't make your problems everybody's problems. Just because Chef Dennis, because I do it all the time. But just because I announce what I'm working on or announce what it is not me giving somebody else their problem. I'm not sure exactly what he was saying there. I do believe it is a distraction. I know the game was definitely a distraction for me at one point in time in my life. You know what I'm saying? I stopped using it for that. And it was to be a distraction, because for me, and I'm just talking for me, when I played the game, it made it so I didn't have to think about everything else that was going on. In that moment in time where I'm playing, I'm here. So all these bills don't matter. Which car don't matter. The fact that my wife is upset don't matter. I don't have to deal with none of that. The only thing I got to deal with is me. It was Call of Duty. The only thing I got to do is worry about saving the world. That's what I used to tell my family. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go save the world. And they wouldn't see me for, I put in 8-10 hours, sometimes all night. Back when me and my wife first got married, I used to be on a team that we competed. You know what I'm saying? Where I was up all night. I'd be up all night playing the game, and it can be a distraction, but God will convict you on the things that you need to give up. Now, just because you stop making something your idol or stop making something your God doesn't mean that you can't play it anymore. You just have to be in control of it, like we're using today. It be in control where you're not making it your idol, where there's times where you should be spending time with God and instead you're playing this game. There's times that something happened to you in a day and you should be in devotion and prayer, but instead you're playing this game. When God talks to you and tells you that you need to be reading this or doing that, instead because I look at it now as distractions that stop conversations from God that I need to have. I look at that now. When I go through my day, my day, I try to make sure that anything that I need to be bringing in front of God and having that conversation, I have Him, and that I don't let distractions come in. Because the other thing that I've been thinking about, or that God has placed on my heart, is that the devil does not have to convince you that God doesn't exist. The only thing the devil has to do is distract you. That's it. And if he can distract you, then he is successful. So I think about that all the time now. That is in my head all the time. Am I being distracted? Is this something, like, even before I get ready to, like, my boy's been trying to get me on this game for months now. He even paid and gave me a gift certificate to get the game. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted me to play it so bad. And I still was like, nah, bro, I just can't pick up something new now. Right now is not the time for me. I can't, because I need to be focused on what God has for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, I need to be focused on what the stuff from being there for my wife and the things that we're getting ready going to, my daughter and stuff like that. I can't be distracted from that. And God will have that conversation with you. I talked about me playing that late night poker. When I can't sleep, I'm sitting up here playing poker for 3 hours, and God said to me, you know what I'm saying? God said to me, hey, bro, you know, you could have been spending that 3 hours with me. And, you know, and it became a real thing. So I stopped doing that. I mean, I still play the game, but it doesn't control me. I've played it. I'm not going to say I have not played it, but I don't play it, you know, I don't play it like I used to at all. But I mean, any of those things, the same thing with alcohol, the same thing with any idol you put in front of that, the same thing with my wife. There was a point in time that I was spending more time I was putting my wife in the place of God. You know what I'm saying? And that was detrimental to my relationship, because your wife or your husband cannot be your God. So, you know, it's all things, anything that you put in place that you're replacing God with, then that's going to be an issue. That's going to be something that God's going to bring up to you.
Lady T, come on. Bring us home, Lady T.
Oh, Lord. You know what? This experience, everything that we're doing, you know, Rodney is about to have some new things going on in life. You know, we're all kind of, you know, going through a transition, right? Ups and downs, right? The ups and downs. I enjoy this. I'm starting to get back to enjoying these conversations. I've had my ups and downs with this. I ain't gonna lie, because
we know.
Oh, okay. Because I have been hearing over and over about, you know, what people think of me or project that I should be. And I don't want to be anything but me, right? So when we have these conversations, it's always good that, you know, we have different perspectives when you have guests on. And then when we come together, just the three of us, or, you know, another person that we know regularly, point is that this is what it's about. This is our community to talk things through, to make things spark in another person's mind, or to help another person, right? So I'm getting back into I'm enjoying this, maybe because it's starting to become springtime. Maybe that, you know, maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah, but that's, you know, everything that we're doing right now, I think that I'm grateful for it. I'm trusting in God. I trust that I am, you know, in the right direction. I'm not trying to control or force anything, so I'm going with the flow. You know, I have gotten uncomfortable being uncomfortable. I've, you know, enjoyed it. So I'm happy. Like, I'm getting back to, you know, enjoying life. Here he is. But
I do want to say something real quick, Lady T, about what you said, because I'm going to give a good shout out real quick, because our brother like me was listening to Kitchen Conversations with Dr. T. And she one thing that, you know, I like to take a lot of things that people say and like keep them as my focus for like the week, or really I try to do it for 21 days. And one of the things that Dr. T said was, stop letting people put titles on you that don't belong. And I've been saying that nonstop ever since I watched Kitchen Conversations with Dr. Toya and Sarah. So, you know, just letting y'all know I be watching y'all. But you know, but yeah, when she said that, it just resonated in my soul, and I focus on things And that has been one of the things that I focused on, along with God, just on, the distraction thing, but also that, I'm not allowing people to put titles on me that don't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? And I won't let no one, even my wife. I had that conversation with her. She in the what you call it. I was, because people will say things, and
Right.
even if there's something that is, I've gotten to the point now that even if it's something just, what you call it, I can't say jokingly because I joke a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I put a lot of titles on Chef Dennis that don't belong. So maybe I got to work on my part of doing that too. But it's a difference. It is a difference. But don't let people put titles on you that don't belong, Lady T. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then the sad thing about it is a lot of times when you watch that episode, like Dr. Toy said, a lot of times we accept these titles and we start believing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta not let people do that. Shout out to Dr. T.
Okay. All right, my boy, stepping it up. But listen, let me see if Des, he want to come on. I guess he had an experience he wanted to express. He said he went to another church. He said it was real confusing. No, he said he went to another church. He said it was real confusing. But
maybe that wasn't the right church.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Go ahead. All right, he coming in. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him.
All right. Edward Clark doesn't play video games. Hey, bro, I'm glad.
Edward Clark, what you talking about though? For real, you've been talking a lot.
The question is this though.
Edward Clark
go ahead, Ronnie. What you want to say?
No. I'm just saying. People think that things are not idols that are. You know what I'm saying? And it's just about. And I remember at one point in time, I remember. Whoo, boy, I was hot. My wife gonna tell me, oh. So and so don't play video games, because this was when I was playing video games all the time. So and so don't play video. I looked at her. I said, "Let's get something straight, baby. So and so cheating on his wife right now. He only came over here. He only came over here so he can have an alibi for where he was." I was like, he going to bang some strange chick right now, so I'm down here playing this game. You know what I'm saying? So next time you want to compare me to so-and-so, you better make sure you know what I'm saying? You better make sure you know what's really going on. Don't be comparing me to so-and-so because he don't play games.
Oh, now, Lady T, Dr. Toy, I don't know about all that. She said sleep can be an idol.
It absolutely can. Gluttony can be an idol.
That's right.
All the times you say to yourself,
I thought idols is something you worship.
Yeah, you worship
food, anything you do all the time. You do more than anything.
She said that's an idol. I don't worship the game now. Please.
You think you don't? Then why is it so hard for you to give it up? Why are you so conflicted? If you don't worship it, then when God told you to let it go, you should have let it go instantly. It shouldn't even bother you. But the fact that you're conflicted with it,
you hear me?
Okay.
I like playing. I like playing it because it's football, so I love football.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
Right.
And guess what? But do you put it before God?
No.
And that is not true. That is you lying to yourself.
But hold on. If you
just confess this, not me.
I know, but as far as me, I ain't confessing. Says I. But look, I'm not. Hold on, D. I ain't gonna debate. I'm not gonna. Are you? She said, "Are you convicted?" Let me get a minute. Yo, D, what's up?
Why do you think God is going to convict you on it? If you don't have to know it's an idol. It's a lot of non-knowing idols. I didn't know my wife was an idol. I didn't know that. Yeah, if food is something that you are putting before God in any way, that's why it's the first commandment, because people don't understand how easy it is to make something your idol. You can make sleep, you can make food, you can make anything.
So an idol, right, versus a distraction? An idol versus the distraction. I feel like it's a distraction, not an idol, because I do not worship the game. I can't worship the game and not worship God.
Absolutely can worship the game.
I said me.
You spend more time on that game than you spend with God.
There you go. So it's a distraction.
No, it's an idol.
For me, I'm not going to claim that. I'm claiming a distraction. I'm not
Guess what?
putting that on me. I said distraction. Now
Okay.
that's what I'm conflicted with, the distraction of me liking and loving the game. Yeah,
What'd you just say?
loving the game.
Nick, you love a game.
I
That is
love
an
playing the
idol,
game.
bruh. You just said I love a game. You should never love a game. There's no such thing as I love a game. You know what? I love Lady T.
I love
I
playing
love this.
basketball.
You know what? I love this mic. This mic is my idol. I love this game.
Nah, that's I think the wrong usage. I'm not.
You just said it. I love this game. You should never love any kind of object.
What you mean?
It's an object.
Nah,
I love this microphone. I love
cooking. Hold on, wait. I love cooking. I have a passion for cooking. I love it. What you talking about? That's not an idol. Oh, all right.
It can be. It definitely can be.
No.
Yes, it can.
Come on. What's up, D? Talk to me, man. Talk to us, brother.
All right. What's up?
What up?
Desmond, how you doing, sir?
Can't hear you.
You mute. We can't hear you.
He was on just a minute ago.
Somebody cut him off.
No, nobody cut him off.
I'm looking it off too.
Huh?
Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, because every time I get on here now, it'd be like, I don't know, it's like 4 different microphone settings, and I don't know which one works.
All right, well, we here now. Go ahead and
tell us what's up. You wanted to tell us what happened. So I see your comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I said I was starting to get on, but you just threw me out there. But it's okay. No, you know, I love your church. Your church is good, right? But you know, it's a hike. So
idol.
I said that I'm still going to your church like once a month. But I was trying to find something closer for like the other 3. Now the church I went to, you know, it was okay. You know, it was very small, and not saying that the church has to be large, but it was small. There was a couple things that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, so that was this past Sunday, and they was like, Brother Black is getting baptized next Sunday, and I was like, wait a minute, what? When was somebody going to consult with me? Like, I was confused, but they put me down saying I was getting baptized. I was like,
so there wasn't another Brother Black?
Nah, it was me, because they said Brother Black and the other 5 first timers that was there. They said they're all getting baptized, and I was like looking around, like, you know what I'm saying? So that threw me off.
They didn't have a conversation with you?
Never. And the preacher said that, and I was like,
did they give you the little pamphlet thing to fill out? Did you put in there? Did you accidentally get baptized or something?
Nope. Now what happened was, it was 3 churches. First of all, it was hard to find a church that's upbeat, a church that I'm familiar with, like, you know, the kind of church that I grew up attending, right? So I was on Google and I was searching. I was trying to find something that had like live streaming so I can get an idea. And so I found like 3 that I said I was going to try. So when I first walked into the church, the first thing I did was sat in the back. They said, oh, no, you sitting in the front. I said, okay, well, no problem. So everybody was asking me, like, are you a new member? I said, I'm not sure yet, right? I'm shopping around trying to find a church that's the right fit for me.
As soon as you walked in?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Like, just make sure I understand that there's no pre-conversation. You just walked in the door and they was like, nah, you got to sit up front, and are you the new member?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then I was like, I don't know yet. I was like, I'm trying to find a church that works for me. And he's like, oh, look no further, you found it. I was like, well, I'm looking. That's all I'm saying, right? And then, you know, I'm sitting in the front, and then they was like, you know, we need your name and your phone number. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So then the preacher, like 5 minutes later, was like, just to let you know, you gave us your number. We ain't gonna leave you alone. We're gonna call you nonstop. We're gonna text you nonstop. And I was like, but they haven't texted me yet or called me, so maybe they just said that. But that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But it was really the baptism thing. Like, they was like, you getting baptized. It was never a discussion like, are you or do you? None of that. So that was very confusing for me.
Are you
Did
going
you
back?
get baptized, or did he scheduling it?
They said I was going to, but I'm not. And I was like, I ain't gonna be disrespectful. But if they try to tell me, oh, it's time to come up here and do it, I'm like, yeah, no, I never agreed to that. So the thing is, Rodney said, am I going back? My plan was to go try one of the other churches that I wanted to try, right? But they kept driving owning in on it. I mean, they kept saying like, "Oh, Brother Beck's coming back. He's coming back." So now I was like, all right. A part of me felt obligated. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back this Sunday and see how it is.
You better run. I wouldn't go back, but that's you.
Now,
you do what you want.
Now, after I tell y'all this, y'all probably gonna be like, "Yeah, don't go back." The biggest thing that confused me was I never been into a church where they refer to God by many names. Have y'all heard of that before?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yes. There's different names.
No, I know it's different names, but have you been a part of a church that call him several different names?
I mean,
not Jehovah
Yeah,
Jireh.
it depends. Yeah, it all depends on what he's. It all depends on what he's preaching at that time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
it was like when it was in the scriptures, they was reading the scriptures, and every time the word God was in there, they would either say Yahshua, Yahweh, Esau. I think that was the name. It was something like that, and Jehovah. It was like, oh, Jehovah, and I'm looking at the Bible like they was like, oh, reading from the King James Bible, and I'm like, why are they skipping over the word God? Now, some people did say God, but then it's like, you know, the churches is already convoluted, right? So you're making the waters a little bit murkier by calling them so many different names, especially when you're reading specific scriptures. That's just me. I just never heard of it. And I've been to several churches, and they always stuck to one thing.
All right,
but it's a Baptist church, so if y'all was wondering,
so it's Hebrew and it's Greek. All right, so there's no J in Hebrew. That's why they call him Yahshua. When you interpret it into English, they changed it to Jesus, Yahshua, Yahweh.
No, I've heard of it though. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I know. I know those are the names, but I'm saying in the church, I never heard the pastor, the deacon, call them all the different names in the same sentence or the same breath. Like I just never heard of that. Now this person asked, was it a non-denominational church? No, it was a denomination church. It was it's a Christian church. It's Baptist, yeah. But like even when he was like preaching, he was like, Jehovah, we hear you. And then he's like, can I get an amen? He's like, it's God this. And he was like, Yahweh. And I was just like, what? So for a minute, I was like, I asked somebody next to him, because I just never heard it.
Oh, okay. You never heard it. Yep. That's it. It's God. It's God.
No, I know what it means, brother. You missing me. I mean, what I'm saying, I've never heard of a church, like for instance, your church, they ain't not going to call him on every name possible. It's just, my grandmother owned 5 churches, and it's never happened. I've been, a lot of churches.
They're all saying a different God when they're speaking it aloud. Is that what you're saying? Like they're saying in a different name. Okay, I get it.
It's just gonna be confusing. I understand what he's saying. It wouldn't sit right with me either, but I don't care. I understand what's going on, but yeah, you got to find the right fit for yourself. Because they to me seem like, they pushing you to all this thing. I don't like when churches become forceful or cultish, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to meet a person where they are, and you got to help a person build a relationship, and then the relationship will be built after that with God. It's not something, that I just believe that you can, like, I hate it when people come in and they be like, oh, you're not dressed appropriate. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I meet this man first? Like, can I even, like, I don't even know who y'all worshiping here because it's so many people. You know what I'm saying? But it's, for me, that's just how I'm very selective about. I am selective about churches that I go to and pick. You got to understand that when you pick a Baptist church, also there's Baptist principles that they're set in their ways, just like Christians or whatever the case may be, or any other church. So, sometimes they for them, baptism is a part of you becoming part of the church. It's something that they really push. I don't like it because I believe that baptism is something that you should choose, and you choose when you want to do it, and you should have a full understanding. Because I have been to churches, and my wife's church is one, and even me and my wife have argued about this. is that, you know, she wants to get our kids baptized as soon as they turn 11, 12, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, they don't know what they're doing. Like, they have no idea. They're just doing it because you're telling them to do it. And, you know, so there's a lot of religious traditions that some of these churches have, and you just got to find the right one for you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we've had that argument about baptism, because in her parents' church, like, as soon as your kid becomes 12 or something like that, it's like that. It's the thing to do. It's not even that. It's no that you're not, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just doing it because their grandparents are telling them to do it.
Are they telling them, Rodney? Are they telling them, or are they teaching them? That's a big difference.
They're not teaching.
Yeah, no,
my daughter was not. My daughter got baptized at that church when she turned 12 and was not a member of that church. We've only been to that church 10 times. Why is she being baptized at that church? Because that's what her grandparents wanted her to do, because that's their tradition. It's more tradition more than what?
So they didn't teach them? They didn't teach them why they was
part of what I just said you ain't understand. Maybe I'm saying it wrong
way.
I
want I want clarity. That's what I want.
They can't teach her if she's only been there a handful of times. You know what I'm saying? They can't teach her. How they going to teach her? She only been there a handful of times. We don't go to that church. We're not members of that church. Their grandparents are members of that church, so they forced and got her to get baptized. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know about it. At least I don't, you know. And then I had a problem when it was happening. You know, so I mean, it is what it is. But I'm just saying that some churches do that.
Yeah, I got baptized twice too.
I'm proud of you, man.
When I was a kid, and then when I was a grown man.
Did you understand when you was a kid?
Yeah, I did. That's why I asked you. That's why I wasn't trying to be funny. That's why I asked you. What did they teach them versus, because back I was going to church in the days where we did communion. They don't do now because people live crazy now. But where we commune and we wash feet. I actually was washing other men's feet. We didn't actually touch, but we had performing washing feet. That's part of the communion is washing feet. Good. No. But see, but you.
I'm good.
I know you good.
Denominations.
Chef, 1 second. Baptist though, I'm gonna say that because when he just said that, the one church that I really wanted to try out this coming week was they do that there, and I never heard of it. And they told me when I was talking to them, they said, yeah, you know, it's part of the cleansing. You wash your feet, and I was like, whoa, what? Yeah. And I just never heard of that. But yeah, so the one church I was gonna try out this week, they do that there.
Yeah.
But why are you going to Baptist churches? Why don't you try non-denominational? Is your church Baptist, Chef Dennis? Is your church a Baptist church?
Yeah, my church. Yes.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
So all
I was raised in Pentecostal.
Like the churches that, like my grandmother's church and stuff. I mean, on the, you know, it says Baptist, so that's what I know. So that's what I was looking for. Because I figured Baptist would be the same kind of, you know what I'm saying? So,
hey, Rodney, though, but we talk about this always. Look, she said, I heard her washing feet. Let me see.
When you're ordained.
Yeah, there's a denomination that they wash feet. And I was like,
I was Pentecostal. And let me tell you something. We wash feet. But see, and that's probably why, you know what I'm saying, I've you know, came, not all my other siblings, they didn't experience that like I did. I was the only one. Now, and you know, I'm gonna take that off. It ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? It's really not, because I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on what's at hand right now. You know what I'm saying? But it shows a lot of integrity. It shows a lot of real genuine love when you can be able to do that, because you know, just a man washing another man's feet.
Can I ask you a question? But what makes you? No, I get it. Back in the day, that was part of, you know, they walking with sandals and stuff on. That was part of a tradition. But in today's terms, what makes you worthy enough that I need to bend down to you and wash your feet?
So so Roddy, it's not about that. It's the true love we have for one another. And so it wasn't you taking it to where I'm touching your feet and all. It wasn't like that. So what happened was how we performed it was there was a basin, and they put their feet in it. We lift their leg up and we pour water on it, and we take the towel. We never touch their feet. Actually, we take the towel and we wipe their feet. Boom. It's a form of love.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
and it's in John 13,
Of course,
13,
yes, isn't it?
it
People
speaks
took
of
that
it.
out. Look, that
Yeah.
performance of communion,
That
they
was
took out.
Jesus. He was
Right.
saying about washing each other's feet.
Yes.
But look, I want to say something to Desmond. Desmond, I think that you might need to see it as messages, what you went and experienced at church. It might
Yeah.
be that you might be baptized. It might not be at that church, but you might be baptized because you went to your first church, which was Baptist, and you're
Yeah.
going to another church that was Baptist. So you're kind of staying with Baptist. So it might be a
Yeah.
message that, you might actually be baptized. So I hear you with your whole experience and everything, but it could be God speaking to you, through those
Right.
people. So try not to, look at it in a eerie way completely. Try and put a spiritual aspect on the whole day itself, and
Yeah.
try and see it.
Don't get me wrong. It
How
wasn't.
about this, man?
It wasn't bad. But one thing, Roddy, and another thing is, I've told everybody that asked me the question about if I'm sticking with that church. I told them that regardless if I call that church my home, I was like, I'm still gonna go to Chef's church once a month, and they was like, "Oh, brother, this is your home now. It's your church. So if we have an event, this is where you go." And I was like, "What?" Like, I don't like the fact that another man or somebody else trying to tell me what I'm going to do. I don't like it.
But it's not that. Look at it as try not to put your ego in it when you don't like something. Okay, we all have to do this.
Right.
This is something we all have to do.
No,
Take a
that
step
is
back.
not true.
Yeah, we do. You have to step back sometimes and just listen to the message, but because you set out your mouth that you were going to commit once a month, and that is a
Right.
commitment.
No, he's talking about to my church.
I know what
To
he
his
said.
church, right.
Yes, I know what he said. But
Yeah.
you said it out your mouth, Desmond, that you were going to come back once a month, and so he had a reason to say that to you because that's a commitment you made. You said, "I'm gonna
Right.
come once a month." So
Chef Dennis Church. But
Yeah,
right now
Chef-
he's
Chef
searching for
Dennis Church, yeah.
churches.
that's I
But,
know.
here's, but here's my thing. None of these traditions make you any holier. Whether
Yeah.
you get baptized, if your heart ain't right when you get baptized, whether you wipe somebody's feet or wash their feet or clean their car when they come through or whatever tradition you want to make up, that's all it is a tradition. It is not anything, nothing about that. If your heart isn't in it, nothing about that makes you closer to God. Just because I invite this ordained minister in and I wash his feet does not make me closer to God. My relationship makes me closer to God. And that's what I'm trying to say. So why do any of these traditions really mean anything else more than
There you
they're
go.
just a tradition? What?
Hey, Dr. Toy, get up.
You just a wet devil. Thank you. Thank you,
Dr.
lady.
Toy,
Thank
get
you.
somewhere now.
Thank you, Dr. Toya. Thank you, Dr.
Yeah,
Toya. And that's my
And she not talking
problem.
about you, D. She just said you
No.
get
If
baptized.
you
Yeah, I
said if
know.
you get baptized and you're there, you're just there. But
You're a
that's
wet
what I'm
devil.
trying to say is like none of these traditions, they're just traditions. Now you
Right.
can choose to go to a church that has them, and you can choose to go to a church that doesn't. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like none of these traditions make you any more Christ. Like okay, I washed his feet. Now I'm getting into heaven. No. Okay.
Right.
On my second day there, I got baptized. Now I'm going to heaven. No. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
don't let if you feel like this is something you're led to do, then do it. But if you're not, then don't. And guess what? If that church is not the church for you, don't waste your time because
Right.
all you're doing is letting the devil distract you by going to this church that you don't want to go to just because they pressured you to do it. Like that don't make
Right.
sense to me. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? My church home, I want to go. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And I'm sure there's a church out there for you. But once again, what did I say earlier in this show? The devil does not have to convince you that God does not exist. He only has to distract you. That's it. That's all he has to do is distract you. And if you feel
Right.
like this church is a distraction, then you should not go to this church. You know what I'm
Well-
saying? The devil don't have to convince you that God, you feel that God exists, you're searching for him. But as long as the
Yeah.
devil can keep you distracted to getting baptized and washing the feet and drinking the bread, but this ain't bread, it's a cracker. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as the devil can get you distracted by all those things, then he's successful. You know what I'm saying? He is successful. You are a man growing in God who's passionate, who's trying. The best thing he can do is distract you. And don't let all these traditions distract you, because that's what I believe that they can do. And now, if it's in your heart and your heart says, I want to get baptized, then you're good. But if it's not in your heart, then all it is another distraction. And that don't mean they're not trying to distract you. I mean, that don't mean that they're not trying to be good, but they're not good for you. That you're not in a place where they want you to be. They want you to be in a place where you're going to dive into the baptismal pool just because you filled your name out. You may not be in that place. So
Yeah, and that was my only issue. It's like the church itself was all right. It's just certain things that took place. That was it. And I'm trying to find the right fit, and I don't like how they was like, oh yeah, this is what you're going to do. And I'm like,
what's the right fit?
Yeah,
What's the right fit?
No, I'm saying, for me, I'm just something I'm used to, like something similar to your church, because that's my grandmother's churches. That's the churches I was going to growing up.
You like tradition, then you enjoy the tradition, and that's what I said about you, because you are going to the same type. It seems like you are really ready for that, and that was a message for you. You just need to see who you are and pay attention to your signs, because you're putting it out there. Yeah. So you're probably gonna get baptized soon with this year. That's what I'm thinking.
Make sure your heart right. You don't want to come back up as a wet devil.
No, you don't want to be a wet devil.
Yeah, make sure your heart right.
Huh?
Have you been baptized?
Man, we talked about this. We're not talking about me. We're not talking about me. Of course, I've been baptized. I told you I came up with it. Yes, it is a tradition. People have traditions, and if you bring your child up in the traditions, that child will most likely stay in that tradition, not unless they had a terrible experience and they hate it horribly.
All right, Desmond.
So,
Chef had his confession. Here we go. My confession. And I don't get the music. Dr. Teague, hit it. This is my confession.
Hold on.
I got you. I don't know none of the words anyway. Going on no way. I have never been baptized, sir. There shouldn't be a laugh. I have never been baptized, but to be honest with you, we did not have this conversation. It wasn't Desmond. This wasn't planned, but I have signed up to be baptized at the.
Hold up, y'all. Wait a minute.
What, Rodney?
I can't hear that.
Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've never been baptized, but at the next one, I have signed up to be baptized at my church. My wife doesn't even know. I hope she's not listening, because I was going to surprise her. But but that's because God led me to do that. It had nothing to do with my church, any kind of pressure, this, that, and the other. I've had the same pastor since I was, in youth. So yeah, but it's because I decided to do that, because my heart has brought me, and God has convicted me to do it, and even more to show. For me, it's just even more of me showing God that I am not the same person. I'm not the same person that I was before. But it has nothing to do. There was no pressure. There was no, nobody. My wife thinks I was baptized. She thinks I've been baptized, and I ain't gonna tell you what really happened in the church in that baptism pool. But it wasn't by God's. It was by God's grace, but it wasn't His will.
You was a wet dog.
Yeah. I ain't even. Nah. There was no preacher in there, but there was a young lady. But yeah, so that was a long time ago. But yeah, that was the reason why I refused, because I was like, I know what happened in that jacuzzi. I'm not getting in there. You know what I'm saying? When I was young. So, but anyway, but now, yeah, I'm getting baptized at the next.
That's what's up. Lady C, I just wanted to correct myself as well. Like, I don't know if you see me looking off screen, because I was wanting to look at my grandmother's churches. that she owned, rest her soul. So no, so I didn't grow up going to Baptist church. I apologize for I
Okay.
spoke out of turn. It was a Pentecostal church.
Okay.
All 5 of her churches are Pentecostal. So yeah, that's why I had to look it up.
Okay.
Now the church that Chef goes to is Baptist church.
But I
Okay.
was
And I've
raised.
been, yeah.
I was raised Pentecostal too.
Yeah. So I had to look that up. So yeah, so I guess when I went with Chef, his church is Baptist, and I just assumed that's the churches I was always going to.
Would you go back to a Pentecostal church?
Yeah, but that's what I grew up in. So and yeah.
Are you looking for it though? That's why I'm asking.
Oh no, because I thought it was Baptist, so I Google Baptist churches.
It's not a lot of Pentecostals though. It's not a lot. It's more Baptist. Pentecostal is a little more stricter, but there are things that I've learned in the Pentecostal that's not biblically correct. Biblically correct. It's not. Like when I ain't
gonna jump out the window today.
No, I can say that because when I was growing up, there is nowhere in the Bible where it says that you can't wear earrings, you can't wear makeup, can't wear pants.
You think they still the same?
No, you can't. That's not biblical. You cannot wear. A woman cannot wear pants. That is not biblical.
Do you think they still have that same outlook today?
Yes.
No. Oh, okay.
Yes. That is not biblical. That's
now,
not the word of God.
It's funny you bring that up because when I was going to my grandmother's churches, they never said that they never taught me or Jarvis that the Bible says not to. They never said that. But I remember one time the paramedics had to come because I had my ears pierced and my grandmother fell out. She's like, "Oh no, what is happening? That's a sin." So it's funny you said that because everybody down south they was like, "Oh no, men don't wear earrings."
Yep. That was part of that. I was like, that's not the word of God. And my pastor at that time was my grandmother and grandfather. But guess what they did? They were doing the best that they knew how to. I love them because guess what? They sowed the seed in me. That's why I'm the man I am today because of them, because of their prayers.
I got a question.
Yes.
But if they believe that, but when you say your grandmother's church, was she the leader or pastor of these churches, or
my grandfather was, and my grandmother was the assistant pastor. Yes.
All right, that's good. Because I mean, she's in that same believing. Don't they believe that a woman shouldn't lead the church either? Or no? I don't know. I don't know anything about Pentecostal. I'm asking.
No. My grandfather was the pastor. My grandmother was the assistant pastor.
Okay. But did they believe that? It's still my question. Did they believe that women were not supposed that women were not supposed to lead the church?
Preach. No. I'm gonna say no because my grandmother, she owned her churches and she was a leader of her church.
Okay.
So
I was just asking because usually with the whole they can't wear pants women thing, they have the also you can't lead rule too. I don't know anything about them, so I'm asking. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she wasn't the pastor. She was the assistant pastor.
No matter, they won't let her. You're not supposed to pastor at all. Some people believe this. I'm not sure who they are.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We can keep it moving. We're good. Yeah. Ask a quick question. That's all.
We'll find out soon.
Find out what
something's gonna come to us. Oh, some of the Pentecostals do.
Yeah,
okay.
I guess
that's what she said.
Okay. That wasn't the case over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, for real. Like, nah, not there. But but yeah, and so guess what? At the end of the day, with Desmond and what we talking about is know this: finding the church can be real difficult because we look for something that is comfortable. Just think about this. This is no strike to nobody, but think about this: when you go into a place that's make you feel uncomfortable, sometimes it's a place that where you may just for a season grow. Doesn't mean that you have to stay there, lifetime. But let's look at the growth. Like what you experienced, that is incorrect. That's wrong. They're supposed to show you love. They're supposed to, love on you and encourage you. Speak to you with encouragement, not to force you on.
So they did do those things, and like they did make me feel like I was family in the first 2 minutes. They did. And throughout the whole thing, they just was very welcoming and stuff. Like I said, I have no issue with the church. I just didn't like the fact that they told me what I was going to. you know, because everything in life should be a choice, right? That's it.
I got you.
But the church overall, it was fun. The music was good. The gospel was good. The messages was good. You know, it was very welcoming and friendly. But to sit there and say, "Oh, Brother Matt's getting baptized," and I'm sitting here like, what are you doing? So that was my only real
You
issue.
better watch out. As soon as you come in, they're gonna give you a vest, a life. You're gonna be like,
hey, yes, he preached. Yes.
No, I actually woke up this morning and was like, you know what? Should I even put myself in that situation? Because if I come through those doors and they say we ready for you, I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I might just walk out. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. They did say they're gonna call me Saturday night to have me prepared. So I'll just, if they call me, I'll just tell them then they ain't gonna do it.
They call you Saturday night to prepare. Ooh, they set a date. Okay, that's what I wanted to know too.
Yeah, like I said, maybe it was my fault for staying silent, right? But I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just talking right now.
Desmond, did you go like no?
Are they live streaming? I'm about to. Where they live streaming? I'm watching this. Where they live streaming at?
They don't do. Well, they only live stream on, like, if you got to have the code. They do theirs on Zoom, so which I don't even have the code because I meant to ask when I was there, but yeah, I was getting up out of there. But no, like I said, it was good. It was good.
Hey, next week they're gonna be like, we found a woman for you, Desmond. Was she? We found.
Hey,
right. We got it all. We got it
look,
all.
There's no perfect church,
here you
man.
Go. Here you go, Desmond. Don't worry about it. Once you get baptized, she gonna be there in a white dress when they finish baptizing you. They're gonna be like,
hey, Roddy, there's no perfect church, man. None.
Well, you're right. That is true. That's because there's no perfect person, but
that's it. So it's about a Rodney. It's a journey.
What you mean you can't wait? I'm not going to do it.
I'll go wait till next week. I want to hear about it. It's like a church digest right here. I need to know. I feel like I'm watching an episode of Bridgerton. I can't wait to.
Hey, you ain't give me the date for you though. I'm make sure I'm trying my best to be down there when you get baptized. When you gonna give me the date? When you gonna give it to me?
I'll give you the date.
All right.
Oh, I thought you said that your next service. I thought you was going to talk about this week.
No, they only do it. They only do baptism. I'm not even sure exactly when it is. Nah, it's not. Nah, it's a certain day. Yeah.
It's a certain day.
I gotta. It might be like once every 3 months or something like that.
Right.
I'll let you know because
that get baptized.
Some they do it every month. Some do it every month. That's why I was like, is it big?
So yeah, make sure maybe later you can come with me and see this experience.
Be great.
Terrible. Hey, Chef, you never called me the other day too, man. You gonna make me put you in the headlock, bro?
We still on air. We all.
I know, right?
I ain't saying that crazy.
No. Roddy. No. Listen, yeah, we got to. Oh man, we rocked up to an hour and 40 minutes, man. It's time to go. Roddy just gave me the cue, like ching ching. Yo, it's time to roll, baby. We've been here long enough, homeboy. See y'all tomorrow, man. We gonna get up out of here. Listen, I hope something was food for your spirit, food for your soul. Listen, be encouraged. Know that God loves you. We love you. Peace. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for everybody chiming in, man. Appreciate it.